all these forces are pouring into our homes. Screens for sure, but it's not just screens. It's like you put your child in a hockey team or in a soccer team or whatever, and the coach is now saying that there's 2, 3, 4 nights a week practice, a game on Saturday, and you got 2, 3 kids who are all doing that. It ends up unworkably busy. That's the tap again turned on too much. And so it's screens, yes, but it's also lifestyle and life decisions, making decisions about having enough spaciousness in the family. And I think, in a sense, having the courage just to have downtime, just to have what I call giving kids the gift of boredom. Just let them be bored and let them come up with their own activities out of their own creativity and innovation, rather than putting an iPad in their hands and having it be someone else's creativity. Because that's why Steve Jobs didn't have screens for his own kids. His answer was, why would I, more or less, why would I put someone else's creativity in my kids' hands? He just packaged it up in minimalistic, beautiful packaging and sold it to us poor schmucks. And we're bought into it. But if we can resist that and let our kids for 20, 30 minutes be bored, they will come up with stuff to do. And some people have said to me, but Kim, look, the screens and all this activity and all these clubs and all these extra things, this is, it's a little bit of FOMO, you know? It's we've got to do this because everyone else is doing it. We've got to do it to keep our kids up. It's the way modern life is. And having children, build forts, and having children do projects and do beading or make their own little cubby houses, or, do whatever it is, whatever little thing they're doing with that old shoebox or that old box that the refrigerator came in, and then they're making it a store, and they're making it a rocket and whatever. But that only comes, if we give kids time. And people say to me, that's not the way the world is. And actually, it is the way the world is, because well over 70% of employment now, if you round it up with younger folk, Gen Z entering the workforce, and then the boomers at the other end and so on, the figure is just over 70% of all employment now is self-employed, not benefited. And if we're raising our kids for a world where it's self-employment, project-based, gig economy, private practice, if we're raising our kids for that world, then they have to be self-creative, self-motivating, self-problem solving. And an iPad doesn't do that. It just makes them passive and gives them pleasure for very little input. Now, pleasure for very little input is not the way the world is going. So when people say to me that the devices, we've got to give them these in so much time, like the average kid here in the United States is exposed to over 7.5 hours of screens per day, right? And that's not including multi-screening, which a lot of tween and teens are doing now, is also multi-screening. So the watching more than one screen at one time. My point is, the world our children are going into, if we can give them time and space, it's not that I'm anti-screen, it's that I'm passionately pro-connection to nature, not nature videos. Passionately in favor of friendship, real friends, where you have to work things out, not friending. Real proponent of family time, not watching family sitcoms. And then finally, a big need, and for me, I'm very protective of kids' own true north, of their values, their emerging little self, and who they want and who they feel themselves to be, not who some TikTok influencer is telling them they have to be. Now, those kids who have those 4 spaces given to them of nature, friends, family, and self, these are the kids I've watched over the years grow up to be really successful in their adult lives. because they're not passively waiting to be entertained and pleasured.
Nature, friends, family, and self. It's so anchoring, isn't it?
Yep. It's almost, Tanya, it's almost like concentric circles. Nature, and then inside that is friends, inside that is family, but at the very heart of it that is self, is knowing a child for a child to know when they grow up that they're going to follow their own true north, not the magnetic north of toxic pop culture.
Yeah. Which I think so many of our kids are losing now. And I think about our parents too, Kim. I think when we talk about being at our very best with our kids, it's the same for us too, isn't it? So I know that when I'm grounded in self and family and connected relationships and nature, I'm far more likely to be the mom that I want to be with my kids.
So much so. And also, Tanya, this is the other part about when things go wrong, as they will, like in any family, we lose it, we get frustrated, whatever it is. If we are more centered within ourselves, if we're allowing spaciousness in our homes, just allowing time just to hang out, that's not scheduled, that's just hang out time, where, the kids say, Mum, can we bake? And it's like, oh yeah. And so we're on, and the stuff comes out and we're baking and we're really connecting in that way. When we lose it, when things don't go well, we've got a thick, rich connection with our children in order to be able to correct them. It's like Dr. Neufeld, like Gordon says, connect before you correct or before you direct. Now, I get that. I get what Gordon's saying, connect before you correct. But it isn't just connecting in that moment. It's connecting throughout that week, throughout that month, allowing space for connection on a more sort of subterranean, on a more artesian level. So when we make the correction and say, oh, no, sweetheart, hang on. That came out harshly. You don't always speak like that. Something must be up. No. Like when we were making muffins yesterday, no, it was beautiful. Like, that was fun, wasn't it? And you're like, okay, but it's just not working out. That famous kid's noise. That one. You're about to go downstairs and hear that one, Tanya. But when you get that and you've allowed spaciousness through the whole week of doing these funny little things, that need space, that don't need that tap turned up too hard. So when you do need to step in, you've got this whole foundation of connection underneath you. It's almost like we're through the week, through the month, we're placing credits in the royal bank of connection.